Now on the Munster game, it's off to Semple Stadium for the first round of the Munster U21 Hurling Championship, a game between Tipperary and Limerick.
Tipperary with home advantage, line out with 8 of last year's panel. Brendan Cummins, Liam Barron, Paul Shelley, Noel Morris in defence. Terry Dunn at midfield and captain of the side. Nina Oakes, Kevin Tucker and Declan O'Mara on the right hand side of their attack, with Darren O'Connor of Care at full forward. 9 members of the side are senior panellists. 3 members of last year's side and current members of the panel are out through injury and examinations. Andy Maloney and Brian Horgan on the injured list, and Pat Croak doing exams. Tipperary won the last meeting between these sides on a scoreline of 2-17 to 2-3. That game was played at the Gaelic grounds 12 months ago. Limerick today travelled to Semple Stadium to take on the home side in a repeat of last year's clash at the Gaelic grounds. 5 members of the side lined out last year. Albert Shanahan in goals, Mark Foley at corner forward a year ago, today at centre half back, Paddy Coleman at midfield, Brian Tobin at top of the left, Barry Foley from the senior side last Sunday is at wing forward, and Paul Neenan, a sub in 1995, is on the 40. Under manager Tommy Quaid, the side are hopeful of success in the opening round. Sideline cut taken by John Foley, sent in towards the centre. Clement Smith of a hand gets a stick to it, cleared down there by the centre half back David Kennedy. Racing back to get it is Barry Foley, Mark Foley, the centre half back. Another forward from the team, and Mark, who played us against Clare last Sunday as wing back, today operating at centre half back on this under-21 side. The ball batted down in the centre. Tipperary's Seamus Maher is our wing forward, is to fill up with O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer has the shot, it's gone in and to the left and wide. South Liberties, Albert Shanahan's puck out towards the side of the field. Terry Dunn trying to get a stick to it. It falls nicely for the Limerick men. That's sent in there by Brian Hartnett in towards the full-back division. Cleared out to this side of the field. It comes again to Brian Hartnett. Sends it in low across the edge of the square. Battling for it inside. Trying to cover there is David Kennedy, centre half back. It comes out towards the centre. Clash of the Ash over there. The centre half back gets a stick to it, fisted inside by Paddy Coleman. In towards the corner forward, Brian Tobin. A shot, and the ball, good save inside by Brendan Cummins. A great save by Brendan Cummins from Barry Foley. The ball on the far side of this side of the field, and the referee has blown his whistle. A little bit of Hurley holding. Maybe we'll take a look at that one again. Brendan Cummins equal to the task of the shot by Barry Foley. The man from Brewery, John O'Brien, with the free, 20 metres out. It's sent to the left and wide, and actually it's not John, it's Brian Hartnett, the captain, and the ball to the left and wide. Philip O'Dwyer gets it right across to the far side of the field. Out it comes to this side of the field to Liam Cahill. Can this be the opening score? It's gone in and it's gone over the bar. Liam Cahill, the scorer. 3.5 minutes gone. Round of applause for a Limerick player about to receive attention, and Limerick about to introduce a substitution. The ball out towards this side of the field. Terry Dunn trying to get a stick to it. John O'Brien in possession for Limerick, sends it low in towards the centre. Geoff Flanagan for Tipperary pushes it out a little bit out on the far side of the field with Seamus Maher. Limerick in possession to the corner forward, Donny Ryan, and he wins the free. Brian Hartnett with the free and levelling up the sides here in Semple Stadium. From Brendan Cummins' back out, that ball lobs into the hands of Clement Smith. Across to the far side of the field, continuing the clearance there is John Foley. Nicely feeded inside by Pat Coleman. In towards the Tipperary goals, racing back, and coming out to get it is Brendan Cummins. On this side of the field we have Noel Morris, the man from Lockmore Castleiney, but the man from Ballybacon Grange delivers that ball towards the opposite end of the field. Standing there is Mark Foley from Adair. Gets the ball up along this side of the field, coming very close to the sideline, comes off the stick of Paul Shelley, so it's a line ball to Limerick. Patrick Swells, Barry Foley with the sideline cut. David Kennedy trying to get a stick to it for Tipperary. One inside by Geoff Flanagan. Shot goes half astray, but cleared out there by Pat Coleman. Only out comes out to the centre to Clement Smith. Clement Smith, a lot of options outside him. Hand pass it outside to the side of the field to Brian Hartnett. Hartnett, good defending by Tipperary, but Hartnett has the shot, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Brian Hartnett the scorer, the second point for the man operating at full forward, the Piercing man, Brian Hartnett. The long puck out, Tipperary playing with the advantage of the breeze in the first half. Are in possession. Sent in there by corner forward. Declan O'Mara came across the field and sent it over the bar, tying up the sides. Nina Erogues, Declan O'Mara getting his name on the scoreboard. The other point coming from Liam Cahill. Simon Smith tried to get a stick to it, but loses out there to Philip Dwyer. Loses out in turn, gets the second attempt. Philip Dwyer trying to get away from Tony O'Brien. Gets it right across the centre to Liam Cahill. Cahill jinks one player, jinks another. And still Cahill, a loose man outside him, picks it up on the far side of feet to Kevin Tucker. Tucker shortens the grip, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Kevin Tucker the scorer. The ball batted on the far side of feet by Pat Coleman. And it comes into the centre. Seamus Maher sending it up towards the corner. Won by the cornerback Pat Thurles. Completed by his fellow defender, who is Niall Murphy, across to this side of the field to Terry Don. Tipperary sends it up towards the full back and full forward. Goes in over the head of Darren O'Connor. Racing back to get his Pat Thurles. Pat Thurles in possession. Turns against the ball. Back out the centre. Simon Smith will be under that one. Not on this occasion. It falls to Phil Dwyer. Takes his eye off the ball. Tries to get a boot to it out to Liam Cahill. Cahill loose for the moment. Has the shot. Sends it in and sends it over the bar. Liam Cahill the scorer. Liam Cahill, the member of the senior side of Ballingarry Gales, a man who scored a great goal against Kerry in Tralee last weekend. Under that dropping ball in the hand of Paul Shelley. Scoops it outside nicely to the side of feet to Philip O'Dwyer. Tony O'Brien is staying with him, but Phil wins the ball, sends it in towards the full forward. Out comes the goalkeeper Albert Shanahan. Coming to him as Darren O'Connor. Albert delivering the ball up the centre. Phil Dwyer waiting for it to come down. Terry Dunn waiting for it to come down. The ball breaks inside. Good ground hurling by the Tipperary centre half back David Kennedy. Sent down the centre by Mark Foley. Across to the far side of feet is Pat Coleman. Coleman changes to Liam Cahill. Cahill working his way inside. Has the shot, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Liam Cahill the scorer. Eight minutes to go to half time as the ball is brought down for Kevin Tucker. Nicely fielded on the far side of feet by Declan O'Mara. Trying to get away from him was Barry Foley. O'Mara has the shot, it's gone in and gone over the bar. Declan O'Mara's second point. The man from Nina Erogue, Declan O'Mara, with the point. Cahill gets a stick to it. Tobin in the equation, and over there also is John Foley. Into the centre to Mark Foley, who's Mark sends it in towards the goals. Brendan Cummins watches it inside, maybe going in under his post, but grabs it nicely, gets it out towards the centre to Terry Dunn. Hops off his hurley, a loose man outside him, mishits the shot, falls for Clement Smith. Going back to retriever there is David Kennedy, only gets it out to the far side of the field. Nicely struck there by the man at corner forward, that wasn't corner forward, Brian Tobin, and sent over the bar by Brian Tobin. Mungret's Brian Tobin. A nice score from play, the fourth for Limerick. Brendan Cummins is back out, lands on this side of the field. Michael Beavens trying to get under that one, but he's in possession of Johnny Enright. Johnny swings it right across the edge of the square. Liam Cahill flicks it on. Out it comes to Kevin Tucker. Takes a challenge, takes the ball in the hand, sends it towards the goals. Inside it goes, a loose man for a moment. O'Dwyer across the goals, but they're goodly well saved by Pat Thurles at the expense of a 65, but that ball could have gone anywhere from Phil Dwyer. Sending it towards the Killiney end here in Thurles and sending it over the bar. Noel Morris the scorer. Right into the centre, a race for possession. Philip O'Dwyer gets it across the field. Noel Morris to Declan O'Mara. Gathers the ball nicely, has a colleague outside, sends it in towards the forwards. Forward Kevin Tucker, trying to get a stick to it. John Foley for Limerick. Nicely caught on this side of field by Darren O'Connor, being pursued by Clement Smith. Sends it right across the centre. Michael Beavens is there. Shot is blocked down. Gets it as a second attempt, gets it back to Phil Dwyer. Philip O'Dwyer with the shot. This one has gone in and it's gone over the bar. Yes, Philip O'Dwyer, the scorer. The umpire took a long time to make his mind up. And the ball over the bar from Philip O'Dwyer. Mark Foley. Stalemate for a moment. David Kennedy for Tipperary in there. John Foley for Limerick. Comes to this side of the field. One on this side of the field by Paul Neenan. Paul has the shot, it's gone over the bar. Paul Neenan, the scorer. A good score by Paul Neenan from Drummond-Atlaca. Brendan Commons about to take the free, giving it plenty of length, height and distance. Drops inside nicely. Tipperary must score from there from Declan O'Mara. A great save by the goalkeeper, Albert Shanahan. A great shot by Declan O'Mara, but a good save by Albert Shanahan. And away come Limerick. To Clement Smith, out to the centre. Brian Tobin. Up towards the full back and full forward. Batted up by the cornerback, Ger Flanagan. Out towards the centre. Centre half forward, John O'Brien from Brody. Gets it back to Paul Neenan. Paul Neenan tries the shot from that distance, sends it in, and he has sent it to the left and wide. The ball towards this side of the field. Terry Dunn coming towards it, leaves it there. John Foley gets a stick to it. Back it falls for Pat Coleman. Limerick are in possession. Gets it up towards this side of the field, towards Paul Neenan. Short delivery back to the centre to John O'Brien. John O'Brien sending it right across. Terry Dunn deflects it back into the hand of Paul Shelley. Good deflection there, back into the hand of Paul Shelley to fall back. Over on the far side of the field is Johnny Enright. The ball going out over the line. Mark Foley certainly in a hurry to take a sideline touch. If ever anybody was in a hurry, gets it to Brian Tobin. Quick thinking by Limerick as Brian Tobin sends that ball deep into the heart of Tipperary defence. Paul Shelley gets a stick to it. It falls outside to Paul Neenan. Neenan, the shot, and it's gone over the bar. Deflected over by Brendan Commons. Shelley coming up the field, and it gets it to the cornerback. The cornerback is Ger Flanagan and delivers the ball up towards the corner. Breaks inside. The fullback there is Aidan Fitzgerald. Has the ball. Gets the ball towards the far side of the field. Over on the far side of the field is Kevin Tucker. Looks at the post, sends it in, and sends it over the bar. Kevin Tucker, the scorer. And the Limerick substitution has just come on. It's number 20, Alan Purcell. Out towards this side of the field. Darren O'Connor sends it low in towards the centre, towards Terry Dunn. He's the captain of Tipperary, remember. Terry Dunn looking at the post, sending it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Terry Dunn, the scorer. And that's his first point. The man from Tommybarra, Terry Dunn. The free from Albert Shanahan into the hands of Mark Foley. Inside it goes, shot back again to Mark Foley. Tries to get room to swing a stick, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Mark Foley, the scorer. Jimmy Horrigan got the first attempt, came back to Mark Foley, and he sent it between the posts. Picked up there by Brian Tobin. Brian is swung around, so it's a free to Limerick. Nicely fielded inside, low shot there by John O'Brien. Deflects off a defender at the expense of a 65, but a dipping shot by John O'Brien. Brian Tobin with the 65. Sending it towards the Kalina end. The umpire is waiting for the white flag. It's a point for Brian Tobin. It's a point for Limerick. Their 10th point. Now 6 points between the teams, thanks to that man, Brian Tobin. And the referee has called for the ball. It's all over. Final score, Tipperary 16 points, Limerick 10.